Most recreational vehicle buyers never see the trap until they're already in it, and that is not an accident. The price of a new RV in America now averages over $70,000, with many models stretching far higher. For most buyers, it is the biggest purchase they will ever make outside of a house. Yet, unlike car sales, RV transactions operate in a patchwork of regulations, where consumer protections are inconsistent and disclosure rules often go unenforced. After hours of negotiations and paperwork, buyers face a final round of charges, fees labelled prep, orientation, or lot preparation. These names sound routine, but they often disguise pure profit. Industry data and consumer complaints reveal these fees typically fall between $500 and $3,500, with the average landing at $1,200. Most buyers only see these numbers after they are worn down by the process, their patience spent. The timing is deliberate. A former floor manager at a national RV chain says, "We wait until the buyer is exhausted. It is the last step, the final hurdle. By then, most people just want the keys." This is decision fatigue at work, a psychological effect where mental exhaustion makes people more likely to accept new terms and less likely to question them. For dealerships, every added fee is pure margin. With thousands of units sold each year, even a $1,000 fee can generate millions of dollars in extra revenue for a large dealer group. The mechanics of these fees are built into the paperwork. Contracts often include a miscellaneous fees section, left blank until the final signing. Some buyers receive a last-minute addendum, sometimes in smaller print, just as they are about to close. The language, battery conditioning, systems orientation, lot prep is technical and the presentation rushed. By this point, the fee is rarely negotiable. Reviews of purchase agreements show a clear pattern. The fee is not disclosed up front, and by the time it appears, buyers are already emotionally and financially invested. First-time buyers are especially vulnerable. Most people buy only 1 or 2 RVs in their lives. They are unfamiliar with the jargon, the pace, and the tactics. Dealers rely on this inexperience. The process is designed to wear down resistance and encourage compliance. As one insider says, "It is not about tricking people, it is about wearing them down." A $1,200 prep fee on a $70,000 RV may seem minor, but it is a 1.7% increase before any financing or add-ons. When rolled into the loan, buyers pay interest on these fees for years. This is the first extraction point where the dealership's advantage becomes concrete and the buyer's leverage fades. Inspectors who specialize in RV units describe a familiar scene. A buyer, exhausted from hours of paperwork, receives a brisk walkthrough of their new unit. The demonstration is quick, lights flick on, slides move out, faucets run. But beneath the surface, problems often lurk. According to the National RV Inspectors Association, water intrusion is the most common defect uncovered in post-sale inspections, present in nearly 80% of used units when buyers skip an independent review. The cause is rarely accidental. Technicians and former dealership employees point to a pattern. Visible water stains in cabinets or under beds are concealed with fresh silicone caulk, a method that temporarily seals the damage just long enough to pass a hurried inspection. In 2021, an Indiana class action reported in industry watchdog summaries alleged that a major dealer group systematically used silicone caulk to mask water-damaged seams and roof joints. Buyers described discovering soft floors, bubbling wall panels, and mold weeks after taking delivery. Repair estimates commonly exceeded $7,000 within the first year, and warranty claims were denied on the grounds that the damage was pre-existing. The suit, though still awaiting full public documentation, highlights the engineered nature of this concealment. Jane Miller, a certified independent RV inspector, explains how the scam works. She says dealers know buyers are overwhelmed. They schedule walkthroughs at the end of a long day and often limit access to key areas. Miller has seen units where the lower cabinets were still damp, but the caulk looked fresh. The buyer never stood a chance. Her inspection reports frequently document hastily applied sealant over rotted wood, often covered by rugs or furniture during the demonstration. In one case, a buyer walkthrough lasted less than 20 minutes. 2 months later, water poured through a ceiling vent during a rainstorm and the dealer blamed user error. The financial impact can be immediate and severe. Unlike cars, RV units come with split warranties. The vehicle chassis is covered by one policy and the living quarters by another. When water damage appears, each side points to the other, leaving owners to pay out of pocket. Thousands of dollars in repair bills hit just as the first loan payments are due. For buyers who financed add-on products or extended coverage, the strain deepens. This is the second extraction point in the dealer trap. Hidden defects, especially water intrusion, are deliberately concealed to ensure the sale clears. The cost of repairs, often uninsurable and uncovered by warranty, falls squarely on the buyer. The system rewards speed over scrutiny and profit over transparency. The next round of costs layered into financing and add-on products waits just beyond the repair shop. Inside the finance office, the real cost of RV ownership is quietly set in motion. The contract in front of the buyer looks straightforward, but a typical $60,000 loan over 15 years can balloon by $15,000 or more without a single upgrade or extra mile. Dealer reserve is the lever. The dealership secures a lower interest rate from the lender, then marks it up for the buyer and pockets the difference. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found that a 3% markup means a buyer pays $651 a month instead of $539 a month. Over the life of the loan, that is $18,360 in extra payments, pure profit for the dealership. A former finance manager described the process. He said, "We would get a buy rate from the bank, maybe 7%. The customer never saw that. We would write the contract at 10%, and the spread was ours." This is not an outlier. Industry data shows most buyers pay 2 to 4 percentage points above what the lender offered, often without realizing it. But interest is not the only profit center. Buyers are steered toward high-margin add-ons, extended warranties, paint sealants, tire protection, and gap insurance. Margins on these products can reach 50% to 80%. A $2,000 warranty might net the dealer $1,400, often for coverage riddled with exclusions. Finance managers earn commissions on these sales, and the pressure is constant. Even buyers who arrive with pre-approved loans face resistance. Dealers promise to beat outside rates, but often deliver higher ones or tack on costly extras. A Consumer Financial Protection Bureau analyst notes that buyers using outside financing are far less likely to face markups, but most never get that chance. The system is designed to keep them in-house, where every signature deepens the dealership's take. A new recreational vehicle leaves the lot with a polished handoff, a quick tour, a checklist signed, and a promise that everything is in working order. Behind this smooth delivery lies a choreography designed to limit scrutiny and shift risk. Independent inspectors and buyer affidavits document the same routine: walkthroughs scheduled at closing, critical compartments left unopened, and cosmetic fixes masking deeper faults. The result is a performance that shields the dealer from immediate liability, while setting up the buyer for costly surprises. The industry's ability to sustain this model is rooted in geography and law. Over 80% of all recreational vehicles in the United States are built in Elkhart County, Indiana. This concentration gives manufacturers and dealer groups a powerful seat at the table in state, and local politics. County records show decades of lobbying for tax incentives and permissive zoning, while trade associations have resisted attempts to impose stricter consumer protections. Arbitration clauses embedded in nearly every purchase agreement funnel disputes away from public courts. Buyers who discover hidden damage or financing abuses often find their only recourse is a private arbitration panel, one rarely sympathetic to consumer claims. A consumer protection attorney describes the pattern. The contracts are engineered to limit exposure. Arbitration, split warranties, and vague language about condition, all of it is intentional. An Indiana Attorney General spokesperson points to the numbers. "We see hundreds of complaints every year, but few cases make it to court." The system favors the seller. Change came only when coordinated enforcement forced the issue. In a recent regulatory settlement, one of the state's largest dealer groups agreed to refund affected buyers and implement a mandatory 90-day cooling-off period for new sales. The terms, made public in the Attorney General's press release, require all fees and add-ons to be disclosed up front, with buyers given time to review before signing. For the first time, the burden to prove transparency shifted to the dealer. The settlement stands as proof that the system's shield can be pierced, but only when regulators, attorneys, and consumer complaints converge with enough force to break through the industry's defences. Today, RV buyers face a marketplace where hidden fees, split warranties, and legal shields quietly tilt every transaction. As prices rise and protections lag behind, the true cost is not just financial, it is the erosion of trust. In this industry, vigilance is no longer optional. Thanks for watching.